Okay, good morning. So we're going to start on Chapter 9, Lesson 2 today, page 507. So if you haven't gotten your book out and opened it to 507, please do so now. Lesson 2 is pretty much the same exact thing as Lesson 1. They just use this big fancy word here, distributive property. The distributive property allows us to break apart one of the factors in a multiplication equation. That's it. So the distributive property allows us to decompose. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's the whole point of this lesson. And then we're just going to practice the same skills we did in lesson 1. So here we go. Let's make this bigger. So we start off with Henry in his hardware store, and he has some wrench sets. The original array is 8 times 6 because each set has 6 wrenches in it, and he has 8 sets, so 8 times 6. We're going to decompose or break apart the 6 into 5 plus 1, 5 columns and 1 column. So if the first part of the decomposed factor is 8 rows times 5, which is 40. And the second part is 8 rows times 1 column, which is 8. 40 plus 8 is 48. Simple. So 8 times 6 equals 48. There are 48 wrenches. Page 508 is here. Karina's dad used 7 boards to build a picnic table. How many nails were used if each board needed 7 nails? So I have 7 boards and 7 nails per board. Find 7 times 7. Here is an array of 7 times 7. 7 columns and 7 rows. So if I decompose one of the 7s into 5 plus 2 equals 7, I would have 7 columns in this problem times 5 rows plus 7 columns times 2 rows. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 7 is 49 because 35 plus 14 is 49. So Karina and her dad used 49 nails altogether. Here's the first 2 problems of the independent practice at the bottom of page 508. 8 times 3. So if we decompose the 8, let's leave the 3. Each time I'm going to choose to decompose the 8 and leave the 3 the same. I'm going to make the 8 a 5 plus 3. I'm going to break that 8 apart into 5 plus 3 and leave 3 rows. So here's my 3 and here's my 3. I broke my 8 into 5 plus 3. So 5 plus 3 is 15. 5 times 3 is 15, and 3 times 3 is 9. 15 plus 9 is 24. We'll do the same thing here. We're going to leave, this would be an array of 8 times 8, and we're going to leave 8 rows. When we decompose, we're going to leave the 8, and we're going to break apart the columns of 8 into 5 plus 3. So 5 columns plus 3 columns, and we're going to keep 8 rows. So now our array is 8 rows times 5 columns and 8 plus 8 rows. Oops, that's wrong. 8 rows times 3 columns. All right, there we go. So 8 rows times 5 columns plus 8 rows times 3 columns. 8 times 5 is 40. 3 times 8 is 24. And 40 plus 24 is 64. Perfect. All right, so you can complete pages 509 and 510.
Did you take it?
Yes. What is it, Jax? What you doing, bud? What doing? Right in there. That's where he is. Okay.
I fussed at him a minute ago for putting his full head in there, so now he's being very careful to only have just the tip of his nose.
What's up, Jax? Well, I might use